let me ask you this. What has traveling, and so you travel, so a lot of these places you by yourself. How do you feel? Because a lot of people, and I'm asking this because I get a lot of messages from single folks, men and women, just saying, well, I don't like to go by myself. Can you talk to that some?
Okay, so I mean, there's plenty memes out there on Facebook and Instagram that talk about if you wait on family and friends, you will never go anywhere. Or, it's 30 people in the trip when you first plan it, and then by the time you get ready to leave, it's only 2 left because everybody else backed out. If you don't take the initiative to travel on your own, maybe you may not go anywhere, if you're waiting on someone else. And as a solo traveler, you're more capable than what you think you are, but you got to put yourself out there. You have to get over that initial fear. Now, every time I go to a new country, I still have fear. Yeah, it's not like I'm just, cocky and I got this. Yeah. No, I'm still afraid because it's a different place. It's new. I don't know what to expect. But my desire to see that place and go is greater than that fear.
Love it.
So I'm going to push through that. And I'm not going to say that I haven't had, moments where I'm overwhelmed or I've never been brought to tears, but because I've read some people have, cried but yeah, I've booked horrible hotels that I've had to move out at the middle of the night, or I've been in some situations that I didn't feel were too safe, but I made it out and I was,
Yeah.
But yes, the good thing about solo travel is you do not have to cater to anyone else. You get up when you want, you go where you want. You don't have a shadow tagging behind you saying, well, I don't want to eat that. Well, can we go here? I'm tired. It's hot. It's just, no, you don't have to worry about that. Do you however you want to do it. And what I will say about traveling, period, is push yourself outside of your comfort zone and do things that you normally wouldn't do. Even if you go to a touristy place, like if it's an activity or a tour that you can go on that you normally wouldn't do those type of things, do it. You'll be surprised. I have some of the most wonderful experiences doing things that I never would have thought to do,
like,
or wouldn't choose to do.
Such as?
Well, the motorcycle tours in Vietnam, those were, 10 hours on a motorcycle for $50.
Wow.
Okay, through to waterfalls, to where I sat and ate crickets and drank this funky rice wine that was made like in a bathtub, and and drank poop coffee, and just wild. And then even in Morocco. So that's another thing. Insert yourself into a situation. Be outgoing, because either somebody's going to tell you off, or they're going to accept you and interact with you. If they tell you off, you're in another country. You'll never see these people again. Don't get your feelings hurt. But I came out of my riad, which is like a traditional Moroccan home, and I was going to go, it was like in the Medina, which is the little walled part of the city, and it's all like alleyways, like a maze. And so you go, I was going to get some chips at this little vendor. And down at the base of the riad was about 8 guys. I'm going to find this photo. There was about 8 guys, maybe 25 or somewhere around that age. And they were cooking and listening to Tupac. And then they were smoking hashish, right? But me being greedy, I was like, what y'all cooking? Because it smells so good. So they lifted the lid and they showed me. And then I was like, can I have some? And they were like, sure. And then so they made the one guy get out of the plastic chair and told me to sit down. And I hung out with these guys. It was like 8 of them in the alley. We talked about who was the best rapper, Biggie or Tupac.
Biggie hands down.
I ate that food that was on a makeshift propane grill with a screen on it, and then the pot on top. And I'm telling you, that food was so good.
Oh, wow.
And one guy, he could speak English, several of them. One guy told me that he wrote poetry and he recited his poetry. We talked about the state of young people in Morocco, you know, why it's so hard for them to find jobs or the economic situation. And it was just a wonderful evening because I inserted myself into, they could have been like, no, go away. Okay, no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
But they invited me in because I asked, and I had a wonderful night.
Wow.
So,
wow.
You know, you have to kind of go out of your comfort zone and do things that maybe you normally wouldn't do if it's safe, you know, and the same thing goes for solo travel. Don't wait on family and friends. If they don't want to go, go. Start off small if you're afraid. You know, maybe go to Dominican Republic or Aruba or something like that before you go all the way around, you know, the world, unless you're really adventurous, then go for it. My first solo trip was Colombia.
Okay. Yeah. Man, you know, I'm glad you mentioned that. You know, because the fear, like I said, a lot of people have the fear of going places and just going by themselves. And, you know, even now, you know, I still have that fear because right now I'm very comfortable in Merida. And I know when we went to the airport for our daughter's wedding this past November, we decided to drive to Cancun. And being in Merida for 2 years, you know, I was like, man, I never drove that far out. And so I was scared. I was nervous. But, you know, all the data suggested that it was going to be a safe route. So even I still get nervous. You know, we're talking about going to check out Cozumel. But I still have my little butterflies in my stomach. You know what I mean? So that's normal. That's natural. Don't let that, you know, turn you away. Just continue to push through, get out of that comfort zone, as Malikah's saying. You know, stand in that comfort zone, man. You playing it safe all the time. You know, you're not going to get out there and enjoy these experiences. You know, and I like what she said about, you know, she walked up to these guys and was like, man, what you cooking? Can I get some of that? You know, and it happens all over the world.